owning a motorcycle is the ultimate experience. The ultimate freedom. The dream begins the moment they ride the bike off the showroom floor, but it doesn't end there. A new owner starts thinking about adding some more chrome, a more radical tank, or louder pipes. It's all because they want their ride to be different, unique, one of a kind. The ultimate freedom rides are forged in an industrial wasteland just south of Los Angeles by a young man who carries a name made infamous long before he was born. This is Jesse James. And his talent is bending metal, arc welding, and making chrome sing. Welcome to West Coast Choppers, where you can go from Harley to heaven in just under 5 seconds flat. Everyone alters their motorcycles, some simply by adding a sleeker fender, chrome shift levers, or high-rise handlebars. It's a billion-dollar industry. But the hardcore biker with cash to burn finds his way to West Coast Choppers. Jesse James has made his name designing and building high-end, custom-made motorcycles. These one-of-a-kind bikes will set you back a minimum of $40,000, and you'll wait at least 6 months for delivery.
This is my new little bike. We developed a new rigid frame, which we call the CFL frame, which stands for Choppers for Life. It's got some pretty neat stuff. A cool neck gusset that we could weld in the frame there that would actually be a functional part of the frame, but actually give it a little bit of style. Then Danny stitched the seat and did a spiderweb pattern on it. The exhaust system I made, and then I figured, well, since we got the spiderweb thing, I had my friend water jet a shield for it after I made him a pattern, and then I just hand hammered it. And then it's got a little cover that covers all that up. We want people's jaw to drop when they see our stuff. You couldn't have come at a worse time. The tangerine bike's got to be done for Daytona. The orange bike has to be done for Daytona. Dunn's is going to Daytona. And then maybe tomorrow, if we're lucky, we'll get the paint back for the Camel bike, which is also, they're debuting that in Daytona. So this place is going to be a bustle of activity.
The next 2 weeks could make or break West Coast Choppers. 6 custom motorcycles must be ready to go to Daytona, Florida for Bike Week, where 500,000 people from around the world will converge to celebrate the biker lifestyle. And Daytona is also a place where God and bike builders show off their creations.
We brought some El Diablos, which is a bike we manufacture with pure steel. We got a new little rigid that I did. It was pretty cool. Seems like I've been doing so many Softails and FXRs, it's cool to do a rigid frame bike again. This is basically my bike. I mean, everything on it I did exactly the way I want it. Some of the stuff, like the shifter and stuff, I've been thinking about 5 or 6 years. 131 cubic inch, jockey shift 6-speed, air ride suspension, crazy merch motor from Canada, and a huge cam, and foot clutch, hand shift. It's neon too, but just throwing the the arc through there for the spark plug. It's just charged with gas the same way neon is. My neighbors were pretty stoked this morning. I fired it up in the alley this morning and let out the hugest backfire. Whoop-pow!
Wow.
Custom choppers command a handsome price, but they're labors of love. With the amount of work, it's a break-even proposition at best. To pay the overhead, Jesse runs a parts operation. Here they manufacture fenders, wheels, and exhaust pipes. Jesse James parts are wildly popular in Europe, especially his fenders. They sell for about $250 each, but cash flow is always tight.
I walk in Monday morning knowing I have to have about 20 grand, 25 grand by Friday afternoon.
Just for the payment?
Yeah, which is real pressure. This is the stress relief. If I walk by it, like...
Chad Bannon, known as DOA, a warrior on the TV series Battle Dome, has come down from Hollywood to order his dream bike.
I like this tank. But yeah, maybe with a little less stretch on the forks here.
Yeah, we can do that. In fact, that green one in back, you can look at the distance from here to here. Look at the green one's about 4 inches shorter. Because he was the guy that owns that bike was in like the same boat. He didn't want it, you know, he wanted a radical looking bike, but wanted something a little shorter, a little quicker handling, something like that. So,
The main thing is still having that fat tank. I mean, I think for me, I really wanted like a bulky looking, heavy looking bike.
I'm thinking since the bike, you know, we'll do something crazy. We don't have to do necessarily flames, but we can flake it out and do maybe some crazy logo.
Right.
Maybe some skulls or something, something kind of classic looking.
But just something that's maybe, you know, that's real dark. You get something like this, and you're putting some money into it, but at the same time, it's like, we're here to live. You know? You gotta live.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, they want a Harley, but they only want to be halfway in it. They want like, oh, I need turn signals and mufflers and a really comfortable seat and a drink holder and all this stuff. And it's like...
Yeah, somebody was telling me a couple weeks ago, they said, yeah, you should get a CD player on it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Where'd that come from?
Whatever doesn't fit in your pockets gets left behind, and nothing that doesn't make it go fast or stop fast.
A one-off or one-of-a-kind motorcycle begins with a hand-wrought frame. A special jig holds the steel pieces in place for shaping and welding. After the frame is painted, the assembly of this El Diablo, one of Jesse's trademark devil bikes, begins. Steve Weaver, a very successful Long Beach, California contractor, has ordered this El Diablo. He's owned many motorcycles, but as far as he's concerned...
This is the cutting edge. This is the Lamborghini of V-twins. Come here, you get it designed for your need and exactly the way you want it, pretty much. Or exactly the way he suggests it, basically. That's the way it is.
You get it designed exactly how I want it.
Yeah, the bike costs twice as much if you're involved in it. This is for the El Diablo chopper.
We got Nigel Patrick makes all our motors for the El Diablo, and he machines, puts the logo in there and stuff for it. It's like, this whole thing starts out as like a 25-pound chunk of aluminum, and he amazingly machines it and makes it look like that.
This V-twin motor has cylinders measuring 120 cubic inches. The El Diablo will be able to go from 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds and tops out at 140 miles per hour. Every wheel that Jesse designs is a one-of-a-kind. The design is transferred into a computer program. A forged aluminum blank wheel is placed into a computer-controlled milling machine. 3 hours later, the wheel is cut and ready for the chrome shop. Not all the bikes at West Coast Choppers are built from the ground up.
This one's a stock Harley. This is a stock 99 Heritage Springer. A guy named Pat, he bought it from the dealer and spent about 20 grand in extra stuff from the dealer, and it still wasn't a custom bike. I mean, he bolted every possible thing on it that he could think of, but it still got lost in the parking lot when he was trying to look for it. So we basically took everything off of it except for the frame, front end, motor, and trans, and the primary drive, and everything else we made. Problem with Springers has always been you could never have a fender that rode really cool, you know, down on the tire. So I designed all this, and we machined the brackets and everything in our CNC machine to match all the wheels, and then it rides, you know, when you hit a bump, the fender rides and travels right with the tire. He wanted the bars. You know, that's a kind of a trend in California and Hawaii, is those big, huge beach bars. I made a wooden pattern to form the bends and then welded it in half, and then if you look right here, this matches the wheels welded on the front, and then we machined his club name on the front of that. This one, we took a bike and modified it, and I think it captures the essence of what a custom is.
Jesse's real talent is metal forming. What begins with a thick sheet of aluminum after many hours of work will become a completely unique gas tank. Jesse James is one of only a few metal formers left in the world. 99% of all motorcycle parts are stamped out by machines.
It's not really an exact science. I mean, I kind of think I know how it's going to come out, but I don't really have any idea until I see it. That's this piece here. It's a certain amount of pride, I think, when someone comes up to you like, hey, who made that gas tank, or who made those pipes? I'm like, I did. They're like, well, what do you mean you did? Well, I made them.
Everyone else has gone home, but with Daytona looming, Jesse continues to work. With a low-temperature, sooty flame, Jesse begins the annealing process, which
basically spreads out the molecules in the metal and, you know, makes the metal less dense, so in effect softens it up. When we get it, it's soft, but it's still pretty hard to bend, you know, and by annealing it, expand all the molecules, and it makes it more malleable. Then you can just, like that, makes it like butter soft. All right.
Since metal forming is becoming a lost art, Jesse has had to rummage through old factories to find his tools, such as this mallet and this metal smoothing machine called an English wheel.
It's pretty good for making blood shoot out from underneath your fingernail. It's like hitting your finger with a hammer, but only the hammer stays on it. I'm working it with my feet to control the pressure. You know, it's basically, you're making it putting pressure on it, making it thinner, it's basically getting a nice little crown to it. Or it's getting all them hammer marks out.
It's the end of a 16-hour day, and Jesse is off to an unlikely business dinner.
Since I'm a upstanding member of the business community, and I guess they found it in their heart to induct me into the Motor Patrol Association. First meeting was like a year and a half ago, and I walked in there like short sleeve shirt, tattoos, and saw like every cop that has ever pulled me over since I had my driver's license. It's cool. It's still like 100% about motorcycles, and all these guys are the same way I am. They eat, sleep, and breathe motorcycles, and that's exactly what I do. They just bust people instead, and it's usually me.
It's 9 days to Bike Week, and Jesse has changed his mind on which bikes will go. Most of the motorcycles he wants to take are far from finished.
My big bike, the Camel bike, the Gold bike, and then that orange El Diablo. 2 aren't ready. Actually, 3 still need stuff going with them. And then the Camel bike, still at paint, the most important one.
I was thinking it wasn't going to be as bright, but man.
Yeah, it's glowing in there.
The frame is painted. The fenders are next. First, the fenders are sandblasted. This removes all dirt, grease, and impurities from the raw metal. A fast-drying compound will conceal any pits or scratches once it is sanded. A primer coat is next. The fender has been painted with its orange pearlescent undercoat. Now it's prepared for a green flame job. Some flame jobs are done with a template or stencil, but the most beautiful ones of all are done by hand. The fender is covered with masking tape, and the flame outlines are traced with a razor blade. If the cuts are too deep, through both layers of tape, the job will be ruined. The orange flames revealed will be painted green. The process is two-step. First, the flames will be sprayed with green pearlescent paint. Originally, pearlescent paint was mixed with crushed mother of pearl, giving it a soft, glowing luminescence. Today, tiny chips of plastic are used. Some of the new metal paints are very high-tech compounds and can be extremely expensive.
Now this paint is about $4,600 a gallon. At different angles, this paint, after it's sprayed, it will turn 5 or 6 different colors. This particular one will go from an extreme blue to red. At some angles, it actually looks gold. It takes on a purple hint from another angle. It's the most expensive paint, I think, probably in the world.
Now, candy apple, a clear, honey-colored finish, will be sprayed on top. It will make the green pearlescent darker, richer, and more vibrant. As the masking tape is stripped away, the fine green flames are revealed.
Looks cool. No tank yet, though. Woo. I don't know, they're kind of like pit bulls of the ocean, I guess. They're like made to kill. I had about probably $5 grand worth of fish in there at one time, and now all there is one eel. They've eaten everything else. I mean, the only thing that I was pissed about is I didn't get to see it. Now they're gonna go in the back and make out.
West Coast Choppers is a family affair. Carla James, Jesse's wife, handles the business end and raises their 2 small children, Jesse Jr. and Chandler. She and Jesse started the business 5 years ago.
I basically don't let Jesse get his hands on the money as much as possible because he likes to spend it a lot. So he's kind of like the girl of the relationship, the girl that likes to go shopping.
And Jesse's taste for toys is expensive.
Every shop needs a 200-mile-an-hour shop truck.
And a 1932 Ford Coupe.
We started out with our own money, and we put every time we made money, we put it back into the business. We never went and got like a business loan to start our business.
And I think we're trying to get a line of credit.
Jesse James, unlike his famous namesake, tries to put money in the bank. For these Jameses, cash is always an issue.
That's really cute, honey.
That was my family crest.
Don't be
Something that's never gonna go out of style. One of my trademarks, I think, would definitely be exhaust systems. Every one of my bikes, I've always kind of had like a crazy exhaust system. And one of the ones that I came up with was having this gentle curve, you know, a real nice sweeping curve. This whole pipe fits into this jig and is actually welded in here. So we're basically forming the tubing in halves and then welding it together in this fixture. This is a Diablo. This is like I think the 8th one we did. I built it for a friend of mine named Chino that's building me a car. The shape of the tank is kind of dictated by the way the frame is. You know, the frame almost looks like a top fuel drag frame, but just stretched up a little bit and kind of out. I did it about 2 inches longer here to here and put a real heavy arch on it, and then I like hand beat these teardrops into it.
Chino Gonzalez comes to look at his El Diablo. Jesse's trading it to Chino for a restored car.
I'm building a 62 Chevy Impala convertible, which his dad owned back, I guess, 10, 15 years ago.
No, he bought it new in 62.
62, over 30 years ago. And he always wanted one, and we ended up doing a trade.
Carla is not happy about the deal.
I'd rather he didn't do that tradey thing because that trade is cash that I don't have in my checkbook to pay the bills.
My mom actually admitted to me the only reason she started going out with my dad is because he had a cool car. That was in Compton in 64. That's my mom.
1964. So now he has a convertible, exactly like his dad's car. A little bit different, little hot rod style, same way. You know?
She knows like how I am for this industry, he is for like the lowrider industry.
Yeah, the sharks are gonna eat them, huh?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you got it. You see it? My parents really left me alone a lot, so it's like I had to like basically learn right and wrong the hard way. Did you get in trouble at school the other day? Huh? Mommy told me you said another bad word and then tried to hit the teacher. You didn't do that, did you? I got in a lot of trouble. This greenhouse is where this kid I hated named Steven grew up. And we got in a belt fight one day with our belt buckles. So I went inside the house and my dad had a bullwhip. And I went and took it and slung it and wrapped it around his neck and started choking him with it. What's this? What's this?
Ace of Spades.
That's right. The 5 of clubs and the ace of spades. The old lady was driving by and like the house in her car, and I was in the front yard. I just took a rock and threw it right through her front windshield of her car. I don't know why. And learn how to fight? You just want to eat candy? Eat candy? No fighting? Yeah! Come on. I got busted for beating some guy up during like a second period break. They came and arrested me in my 3rd period algebra class. Yanked me out of the class with guns and stuff like that, and handcuffs, so it like freaked everybody out. Now I like see my boy and it's like, oh man, the ultimate payback. I'm gonna have to like relive everything I did. Hopefully he's wild in a different way, like we're not the criminal way. I'm Jesse James. I'm Jesse James. My great-grandmother was Missouri Ann from the Oklahoma Territory, and that was Jesse and Frank's aunt. And when they died, she named my grandpa and his brother Jesse James and Frank James to keep the family name going.
Bye-bye, doggy.
Ooh. Give me a smooch. Mwah.
I was wondering why I felt so hungry. I forgot my lunch.
When she's not here, Carla thinks it's like a wild stripper party every day. That we're all just drinking beer and naked chicks and just... Even if she leaves for like 10 minutes, she thinks we have like a party while she's gone.
Jesse, Stas is line 1.
Ironically, a phone call from the editor of Easy Riders magazine supports Carla's concern. Jesse's Devil Bike has been chosen for a cover shoot the day before the Daytona deadline. But this is a mixed blessing. The photo shoot will push up the finish date by a day, 24 hours that Jesse and his crew don't have to spare.
Now that we got it pretty straight, let's beat on it and then make it really screwed up. One good thing about metal is if it's out of shape, you can always beat it back into shape, beat it into submission. Hot spark went 3/4 of the way to my, right on my retina, went 3/4 of the way to my cornea. And then since it was in there all night, it started to rust on my eyeball. So you had to go in there and drill out all the eyeball material that had rust in it. I was bitching. I always tell everybody that like, you know, all the business crap and all that stuff isn't where I do my best work. My best work's done like behind a welding helmet. Whew. That was too close. It gets too close and it'll clog the tip. Pop back. That's it. It's welded. We'll do it with Avion. It's like a aristocrat shop. Handmade. That's cool. That's cool for today. Should be able to knock that thing out tomorrow for sure. These are the paychecks. All of them.
Carla has left the payroll checks for Jesse's signature.
All the distributors and stuff like drag their feet. I mean, we have enough stuff out there that we'll have the money coming in, but you almost have to like threaten them to get them to pay. So.
The payroll has once again drained their bank account. Tired of deadbeats and late payments from dealers for his fenders and parts, Jesse calls Jack Rudy his tattoo artist. The overdue accounts have inspired him to do something radical.
Well, I got a pretty good idea for the palm of my hand. I know what I want. It came to me in a dream.
Come on, help me out here.
Trying to collect some money.
Let's see, something along these lines, perhaps. Can't believe you want this.
No, it's gonna feel on my palm.
Not good.
Almost as good as my spine.
Make sure that point is perfect. Doesn't that feel good there?
See my face grimace with pain. That feels just about how I thought it was gonna feel. Like someone was poking a needle into my hand.
Hey, we are in the home stretch.
Good, let's finish.
Jesse, I think you've had enough tattooing for today.
Rikus Punyap.
Pay up, sucker.
Tomorrow, things are going to get a little crazier. Now, there are only 4 days before all bikes must be finished and loaded for the cross-country trip. This silver El Diablo has been ordered by Tommy Hilfiger's supermodel Tyson Beckford. They'll meet at Daytona for the last consultation. Jesse emails pictures of the other bikes to their owners for final approvals.
Most of our customers make us like jump through hoops, you know. This needs to be a 1/4 inch lower, that needs to be longer, you know. They want to see every aspect of it, so.
The final stage of completing the last tank for the 6th Daytona bike is underway.
Not doing too bad for having a killer hangover. I'm on fire. We're making some bitchin' welds right now. Remember standing in the front seat of my dad's truck going down the freeway, and I remember a whole pack of Hell's Angels went by, and man, that was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Just the sound and the way those guys looked. Wow! I'm pretty stoked off that weld, so I think it's a good stopping point.
With the paint barely dry, it's back to the shop for final assembly.
This is the first bike I've ever had on the cover of Easy Riders. It's pretty cool that it's like my bike, my frame, my pipes, my tank, my fender. Even though the company we're building this bike for was pretty adamant about not having the Maltese cross on it, it's not really the Maltese cross, it's the air cleaner.
Steve Weaver's tank also comes back from paint. Now the clock is ticking on the final piece, the custom-built seat. The frame, called a seat pan, travels 218 miles north to Fresno, California, to Danny Gray, one of the premier seat builders in America. Jesse uses him exclusively.
This seat pan came in from Jesse James, and I believe it came in on a Greyhound bus. It's typical of Jesse because a lot of times it's last minute and it's rushed up to me on a bus.
The foundation of a seat is a composite material made of recycled foam.
The hardest part about this is making sure that I don't get my fingers in where the knife's cutting. I'm going to use the grinder to take the foam down in the areas where the knife has already sculpted off some of the bulk of it.
A Danny Gray original seat can cost up to $600, depending on the materials used and complexity of design.
We use a vinyl side and a leather top. Perfect. So now I'll transfer it to our high-quality European leather. In Europe, they don't use barbed wire. And when cows lean against barbed wire, it produces scratches in the leather. I'm putting this Maltese cross on here, one of the symbols of Jesse's rebellious motorcycle attitude. And then we'll drop the little Maltese cross in here. I think a sewing machine is kind of like a motorcycle. It becomes a part of you. I'm counting the stitches as I go. I know exactly how many strokes I took. The idea, of course, is to do the same amount on each respective side so that all the corners look the same. Ten little stitches right there. Now I get kind of a 3D look. There it is. Get it into a Danny Gray box and head for the bus depot.
Cisco killed Rudy. Dead. Tore almost one of his legs completely off. And... Did you kill Rudy? Huh?
So that's what ended up happening. I heard the end of that conversation the other day.
I like
It was
Rudy.
really cool.
The death of one of Jesse's pit bulls has added to the tensions in the shop. Even though they are under a tight schedule, the crew takes a break.
I feel like I spent probably more than half of my life trying to kick the world's ass, you know, and fight everybody and stuff like that. And I just not even really into it anymore. I just want to, you know, trip out and make the stuff I make and hang out with my kids and, you know, have fun, live life, you know. But don't get me wrong, though. I'll punch someone. If they start shit with me, I'll finish it.
It's back to business at the shop. In 4 hours, 2 El Diablos must be ready for the Easy Riders bike shoot. And tomorrow, it's all bikes to Daytona.
Got 3 hours before we have to bail.
Hey, where's Scott?
Nothing like a little pressure.
What's up with this?
One of my Russians tapped the holes wrong. He thinks sorry means everything's cool, but I'm like ready to box.
Hour and 15 minutes, we got to be up there.
Finally, the work is done.
This is the last piece on this bike. This one's off to the photo shoot.
It's like a $75,000 bike and a $1,500 truck.
The 2 Diablos make it to photographer Ryko Hartman's studio in Hollywood. An Easy Riders cover always features a tricked-out bike next to a beautiful, near-naked model.
This is like my fantasy, so it's you know, the motivation is just being on the bike.
Let's get you on here, and let's try, you know, maybe something where we're cheating the breasts and getting the rear going. Usually when I work with a model for the first time, I don't know what they're capable of. Some girls have great bodies, but they don't know what to do with them. Okay. I watch what they do with their hands, what they do with their face, how their body posture is, and that tells me before the shoot how much effort I'm going to have to put into the shoot as I'm doing it. Yeah, that's nice. Bring the foot up.
I'm just trying to be just a Harley chick.
We're cooking.
Not really, you know, sensitive or sensual, you know, it's more sexy and hardcore.
Turn your top towards me just a little, and turn your rear towards me just a little. Okay, good. Okay, sit side saddle on it. Roll the shoulder back. No, not the hand. Put the hand back where it was. The hands, okay, I know that. I've got to look out to make sure that she smiles. Don't be afraid to smile. Friendlier, come on. Good. See, on one picture, she's got to be able to sell a magazine. And nobody's going to pick it up unless they can communicate with her just visually. I mean, if you look at that magazine and it doesn't say to you, pick me up, they're not going to pick it up. If they don't pick it up, they're not going to buy it. Good.
I like being in front of camera, looking sexy and making the moves and throwing your hips out and knowing that somebody's taking a picture for you and being in a magazine and everybody's going to look at you, but they can't touch.
Arch that body. Really get some arching going. Good. Sit up straight. Okay, just get sexy for me. Move around. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Good. Look over your shoulder. Ooh, nice. Done.
I built this bike for me, and, you know, some dude came in and made me an offer I guess I couldn't refuse, so.
It's 5 a.m. In 1 hour, all the bikes will be loaded into a trailer and driven across America to Daytona, Florida. Miraculously, they're finished, right down to Jesse's trademark 6-shooter riser covers.
Done. I'm going like straight from the airport to like the strip club.
Daytona Bike Week is an annual event which demands the attendance of all serious and dedicated motorcyclists from around the world. The tradition began in 1937 with a small motorcycle race through local streets, over the beach, and ending up on Main Street. Today, over 500,000 bikers have descended on this oceanfront town to not only race, promenade, and party, but to buy and sell. Supermodel Tyson Beckford has come by for a final consultation on his West Coast chopper.
I just ordered a silver Ferrari, so I'm going to have the two match. Definitely. I'm into this silver thing.
It's unbelievable chopper.
Straight out of the 21st century. Yeah. It's fat and it's skinny.
Bike designers from across the globe have brought their finest creations with them. One of the greatest is Dave Parowitz from Boston.
I wanted to do something that was a little different than everybody else, which this is, an old 60s style chopper. Started out with a soft tail frame. I didn't want to go with a rigid, give it a little bit of comfort. And we put pan tops on it, so it gives it that pan head look. Old style air cleaner. Again, give it that nostalgic look.
California legend Ron Sims arrives with his new creation.
This bike actually has one of our new Thug motors. It's 131 cubic inch. We're putting about 150 horsepower out with this one. This is a fat tire chassis that we actually manufacture. This is kind of a trademark, the long style fender. When you see this bike going down the street at night, it literally does look like it's on fire. Most people, when they do flames, they take them from the front and run them to the back. This actually starts from the bottom and comes up. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. So yeah, we're not the new kids on the block.
IndyCar champion Paul Tracy has owned a few of Ron Sims' bikes.
This is my third bike with Sims. I wanted a real tribal look everybody's going for right now, but I wanted it to be, have multicolors with a candy green base. Well, there's a lot of detail in the paint. There's just skulls and people and brains. You know, it turns just skulls over skulls and devils, some naked girls here and there.
How y'all doing today?
And even a holy man has made the pilgrimage to Daytona.
And the Lord spoke to me to go to Washington, D.C., and I told this biker. And he brought a whole bunch of his friends, and they brought food to us, and they gave us money so we could go to D.C. And he, at one time, was a Hell's Angel himself.
Chino and the boys have come all the way from Long Beach to take in the show.
I think it's ready to go. What you think?
They've also come to party all night.
Later!
For the crew, it's time to kick back and enjoy the night.
When I got a bike, I was thinking about nothing but wild naked strippers and doing wheelies and burnouts and scaring old ladies and getting a tattoo and
That's how close we came to getting arrested last night.
this is going to require effort because I got a hangover. I got a hangover.
Jesse and 4 other top-ranked designers were chosen to build bikes for a major corporation. For years, Jesse's designs were considered too radical. Today, his bike will be displayed with the best. First, Ron Sims arrives on his lean green machine. Then Dave Parowitz on his retro Springer. Donnie Smith on his Rigid. Jimmy Nazi on his dyno bike. And last, but certainly not least, comes Jesse James on his El Diablo. This is a great day for Jesse James. For years, he's worked for this moment. This event proves once and for all that he's finally arrived.
Jesse James. Jesse.
It feels pretty cool to be up there with those guys. I mean, Ron and I are really good friends and someone I really look up to. Same with Parowitz and Donnie. It's like those 3 guys, when I first started out, like 7 or 8 years ago and first brought one of my first bikes down here, those guys are like the only guys that gave me any kind of respect at all. It seemed like for the longest time, people thought I was crazy or they didn't really want to accept what we do. I built a lot of stuff when it wasn't really like in vogue, but now I guess it's finally in style. I knew in my head my stuff was the best. I guess it just took a while for everybody else to realize it.